Welcome to BNetTV.com. I'm your host, Nicole Scott, down here at Mobile Internet World in Boston. I'm joined by Beth Goza from Zumobi. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
So tell me a little bit about your product.
Zumobi, it's a platform for mobile phones in terms of widget creation. We call them tiles. It runs across the Windows Mobile system. We're working on our J2ME client as well as others. It's an application that's free to the user. They download it, install it on their phone. They can go to our gallery to download tiles, which are basically snack-sized bits of information that's important to them. And so you could have a Flickr tile with your photos. You could have a local weather tile. You could have a tile that tracks flight times where you actually enter your flight information. And when you're on the go, you can check in. And the reason why it's compelling is we do a server-side synchronization, so the data is pushed down to your phone, sort of BlackBerry-like style, and so it's always fast and fresh and there and available for you. And then with the zooming user interface, which is the zoo part of Zumobi, we found a great way to interact with phones, one-handed use, zooming in and out. We noticed that people, it's been over 3 years of research, which actually started in Microsoft research with John Sangiovanni, Dr. Ben Betterson from the University of Maryland. They discovered that people think very spatially, and so by having these quadrants of information that you can sort of zoom in and out of, it's just really easy for people to find what they want quickly and while they're on the go.
Well, it sounds really interesting. Can you show me what you're talking about?
Sure. So here we have what we call your zoom space. It's loaded up with 16 tiles, which you have gone and selected from our gallery. They're based on things that are important to you. And so, for example, you might be really interested in Celeb Watch, which is a tile that tracks celebrity news. Amazon, if you want to actually check out what are the top 5 CDs selling at the moment and order. We've actually got a blackjack game here that you can play with while you're sort of stuck on the airplane or stuck in line somewhere. Stock updates. And so this really represents sort of the best of the web in terms of information that, you know, is important to you, you like to keep track of. It's a little bit of stuff that's sort of important and kind of task-oriented, and then you also have the fun sort of, you know, enjoyment, and so it kind of makes the best of all worlds on your phone.
That's a pretty nice user interface. Now, how processor intensive is it?
It's actually not very processor intensive. The application itself has a pretty small footprint, and in terms of interacting with the UI, because of the server-side caching and the information being locally stored, you're not round-tripping up to the mobile web to grab things, so you're literally just acting within the application.
So, really, the Zumobi is like an application or a widget plugin for whoever would like to develop something for the web.
Yeah, so, you know, getting content on phones has been pretty difficult in the past. You've had to think about, you know, am I writing for Symbian? Am I writing for J2ME? Am I writing for Windows Mobile? With Zumobi, any developer can go up to our website, download the SDK, create a tile, and everything as simple as sort of something that pulls from an RSS feed to something more sophisticated using like SOAP or REST. They can create their tile, they send it to us, it goes through, you know, a quick certification process as far as size and how it runs, and then we put it into our gallery for folks to download. So now, you know, anybody can literally build, you know, an application to run on a mobile phone if you think of widgets in terms of being, you know, small applications.
Now, if I had an existing application that I wanted to adapt for Zumobi, how long is the development time for something like that?
You know, if you develop using, you know, Java, HTML, DHTML, the transition would probably go fairly quickly. We find that anybody who's been developing for the Web 2.0 space or sort of has been used to doing sort of software as services application, they can easily translate those into a tile.
Okay. Is there a time frame on that? Is it like 3 weeks, 6 weeks?
You know,
roughly.
So I actually wrote a tile in a day, but that was because I did a pretty simple tile. You know, the Icon Has Cheeseburger website with the lolcats. I just pulled from their RSS feed, did some basic design. If you're going to do something more sophisticated, like our Amazon tile, which, you know, is pulling from their database, involves something like ordering, sorting, you know, that could take 2 or 3 weeks to develop.
Okay. Now, what about revenue sharing or your business model? What's
okay,
going
so
on
the
there?
business model, because we're free for the users to download and install, and because we're free for developers, you know, to download the SDK and build tiles, what we've done is we've created an ad-based system. We use Mobile Marketing Association size banners on the bottom of the tiles. Developers can opt in to have those served up. If they do, they can then take advantage of, you know, the CPM, CPC, CPA model of revenue sharing. There's also the ability to do what's called a sponsored tile, where they pay us and then they own the entire space. And then if they want, they could literally sublease those banners. So, for example, if I'm an ESPN and I already have a relationship with Nike and I just want to serve up Nike banners, maybe I'll go directly and work through the agency I've already been working with.
Very interesting.
Yeah, and we're in beta starting December 14th. So anybody who wants to check out Zumobi, download it on their phone, will be available for Windows mobile phones for testing. And then we're looking at Q2 2008 for J2ME.
Fantastic. What exactly is your goal here at Mobile Internet World? What are you launching? What are you doing here?
Well, our big announcement for Mobile Internet World is actually that we changed our name. So we were formerly ZenZui, and we've changed it to Zumobi, which we feel better represents the fact that we do have a zooming user interface and for mobile devices. You want your name to sort of be a reflection of the energy of your product, and we felt like Zumobi just felt a lot better. With Zen sort of being a crowded space, Zui, which stands for Zooming User Interface, isn't necessarily something that most people know. Right. And so the big announcement is the fact that Zumobi is now live and in existence, and then we were really excited because we're formally announcing our beta date of December 14th. So at CTIA in the spring, we had promised by the end of the year that we would have our beta, and we're going to deliver.
You delivered it.
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, it's very exciting for you. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in your beta and what's happening next with you.
Well, thank you so much.
This has been Beth Goza with Zumobi, and I'm Nicole Scott down here at Mobile Internet World in Boston with bnettv.com.